Well, you're here because you filled out a survey about a guy and he scored a C. In many important ways, this guy is falling short. Welcome to the Strong Brew, where you get answers to questions you're not supposed to ask. These are some things you may want to know about the man in your life. If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure? Will he try and use money to control you? Will he share housework or just make you do it all? In fights, when he gets angry, does he get aggressive? During intimacy, does he understand that no means no? Is he jealous, suspicious, or possessive? Will his attitude towards you change after having kids? Will he treat your parents with respect? What if you have conflicts with his parents? We tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. These are things nobody else will tell you, things that are important for your future. This is a safe space for truth. No judgment, no platitudes, no login, no payment either. Our questions are from real life, but our answers come from science. Now, I built this thing, me and my husband, and honestly, we built it and we live it. We are both Stanford grads, we both have worked at Google, and we've been happily together since 1998. Along the way, we've added a son, now 13, and 4 dogs. We are genuine folks. If you're a woman trying to understand any man in your life, here is how it works. Go to www.thestrongbrew.life. Click on the Understand a Guy button there. Answer 10 questions about him. Watch a video tailored to your guy. That's all there is to it. It is completely anonymous, no login, no payment, no games, no manipulation. This analysis is obtained by combining solid trait psychology with cutting edge AI ML. We represent each person's personality with what is known as a feature vector. This has 10 elements, so our data is effectively 10-dimensional data. In case you're wondering how we can infer so much from just 10 questions, well, 10-dimensional data is very complex. There is a lot you can learn from that level of detail.
Okay, I think that does it for the preamble. Now let's plunge in. Let's start with this guy in his career. Will he go far or just talk big?
He's got the energy and push to make things happen, and he isn't afraid to speak up or take risks, which can help him move ahead at work. But because he can get angry quickly and sometimes acts without thinking things through, he may struggle with bosses or co workers and burn a few bridges along the way. He will work hard and get noticed, but without careful planning or keeping his temper in check, he might get stuck or find himself moving sideways instead of upward.
Can he bounce back from failure?
When things go wrong at work, he tends to react strongly. So you might see yelling, quick irritation, or blaming others when trouble hits. He doesn't shut down or withdraw. He faces problems head on, but sometimes with too much heat and not enough calm. He is unlikely to quietly reflect or calmly find solutions on his own.
What do people at work think of him? Do they like him?
Most people at work will find him tough to get along with, even if they respect how hard he works. He can be kind and caring with those he likes, but his blunt words, quick temper, and habit of pushing too hard can rub many the wrong way. Arguments and misunderstandings are likely, as he doesn't hold back when he's upset or disagrees.
If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure?
If you do really well in your career, he will probably feel both proud and uneasy at the same time. On one hand, he does care about you and wants good things for you, so he may show support and try to cheer you on. He may react by making sharp comments or picking arguments about your work instead of calmly celebrating your success.
What if you start earning more than him?
If you earn more than him, there's a good chance he'll feel uneasy. Even if he doesn't say it out loud, he might not show his feelings with quiet sulking, but with sudden bursts of anger, sharp words, or even small arguments that seem to come out of nowhere. Deep down, he wants to provide and feel important, so your higher earnings can press on his pride.
Next, let's talk about how he is with money. Does he overspend? Is he reckless with money?
He is not very careful with money, and his way of handling it is often scattered and impulsive. He'll work hard to earn, but he doesn't plan well or keep a strict budget, so you might see him buying things on the spur of the moment or forgetting about bills and savings. If there's something he wants, he'll go after it without stopping to weigh if it's smart or necessary.
Does he show off and pretend to be richer than he is?
He often tries to live bigger than his means, especially if he thinks it impresses others or makes him feel important. He isn't focused on careful planning, so he may spend money to keep up appearances, buy things quickly, or treat people to show off, even when it doesn't fit the budget. Sometimes he doesn't realize the trouble until bills pile up or money runs low.
Is he too generous, too stingy, or just right?
He is open handed and can be quite generous, especially with people he cares about. If someone needs help, he's likely to give or spend without thinking twice. Even if it stretches his budget, his heart is in the right place, and he doesn't like to hold back, whether it's sharing money, time, or support.
Will he use money to try and control you?
He is not very secretive or controlling about money, but he isn't very organized or clear either. He's likely to talk openly if you ask him, but he might forget important details or not keep good track of where the money goes. He doesn't play power games with money or use it to control you, but his messy style can lead to confusion.
Let's see how this guy is with sharing housework. Will he share housework or just make you do it?
He is caring and doesn't believe that housework should be only your job. He won't hesitate to step in and help, especially if he sees you struggling or tired. You may need to remind him or talk things through to make sure chores don't pile up.
Will he help you or just boss you around and tell you what to do?
He will jump in and actually help with chores and diapers, not just stand on the side and tell you what to do. When he sees that something needs to be done, he's willing to get his hands dirty and be a true partner in day to day tasks. You might have to gently remind him about routines or show him how you like things done.
Now let's see about how this guy is during fights. In fights, does he try to understand your views or just win the fight?
Most of the time, he'll argue to show he's right rather than stop and try to understand your side. When things get heated, he can be stubborn and quick to defend himself, focusing more on winning the argument than listening closely to what you feel or need. But patience and honest talk are needed to help him see things from your view.
Does he become aggressive when angry?
When he's angry, he can lose his cool and say things that are sharp or hurtful, even if he regrets them later. His temper runs hot and he may raise his voice or act in ways that feel aggressive in the moment. Respect can get pushed aside when he's upset, and his words may sting more than he means.
Does he have a bad temper?
Yes, he does get angry very quickly, and this is something you should pay close attention to. Quick temper is not just a small flaw, it can affect how safe and comfortable you feel in your daily life. Remember, you deserve respect and peace, not constant tension.
Will he say sorry and accept his mistakes?
He finds it hard to admit when he's wrong, especially in the heat of the moment. Instead of saying sorry, he's more likely to blame you or something else for what went wrong. Taking responsibility isn't his natural way. His first reaction is to protect his pride and shift the focus away from himself.
Next, let's talk about intimacy and physical chemistry. During intimacy, does he respect your boundaries? Does he get that no means no?
He might struggle to respect your boundaries right away, especially if he feels strongly about something or is frustrated. He's not always good at stopping when you say no and might push back, argue, or try to change your mind instead of simply respecting your limits. You may have to be very firm and clear about your boundaries and watch how he reacts over time.
If you are not in the mood for intimacy, will he react badly?
Yes, he is likely to take it personally if you're not in the mood for intimacy. He may react with frustration, make sharp remarks, or act hurt, feeling as if your refusal is about him rather than just your mood or needs. If he repeatedly takes it personally, that's a sign to think hard about whether this is the right match for you.
Can you trust him not to shame you or share your private moments, maybe love letters, photos, or videos, even after a breakup or a bad fight?
You need to be careful here. When he's angry or upset, he might bring up private moments during arguments or use what you shared to make a point, even if it hurts you. Trust means feeling protected, not worried.
Is he loyal or is he likely to want to have affairs?
He is not the type who openly chases after other women all the time, but he can be impulsive and act on feelings in the moment without thinking through the consequences. If he feels unappreciated or bored, he might let his eyes wander or do things that seem disrespectful, even if he doesn't mean to hurt you. His loyalty depends a lot on how happy and involved he feels in the relationship.
Will he be jealous, suspicious, and try to control you?
Yes, he's likely to show over possessive behavior, getting jealous or suspicious easily, especially if he feels ignored or insecure. He might ask where you've been, who you talk to, or even question your friendships, sometimes in pushy or aggressive ways. While this can come from caring, it quickly crosses the line into controlling and disrespectful behavior.
This guy says he is protective in a good way. Is he actually just being possessive?
Yes, in his case, being protective can often cross into being controlling. At first, it might look like he's just caring deeply or wanting to keep you safe, but over time, his actions can turn into rules or demands, telling you what to do, where to go, or who to see. While everyone wants to feel protected, it's important to see the difference between loving care and control.
Now, onto the topic of kids and how this guy will be as a father. If you guys have kids, will he make you do most of the work?
He wants to be part of raising the kids and doesn't expect you to do it all alone. But he isn't great at planning or sharing the smaller daily jobs. He'll help when it matters or when you ask, jumping in for big moments or emergencies. It's not because he doesn't care, but because he acts on impulse more than habit.
Kids are very messy. Will he lose his temper with them?
When the kids mess up or get upset, he's more likely to lose his temper than stay calm. He reacts quickly, often raising his voice or using harsh words before taking a moment to think things through. He doesn't mean to harm and he may try to make up afterward, but his first instinct is not calm or gentle.
If you guys have kids, will he still support your career?
He may try to support you as a mother, showing pride when you take care of the family or achieve something important. However, he often struggles to see you as your own person with needs, dreams, and choices outside of the home. You'll need to be very clear and strong about your boundaries if you want him to respect both sides of your life.
Will this man say one thing early on, maybe while dating, and then later after kids and marriage change his tune and try to make you give up your career?
Yes, he could be the kind of man who supports your career in the beginning, but later hints or even pushes you to quit once you have a child. At first, you may feel he's proud and cheering you on, but when family life becomes busier, his expectations can suddenly shift. This change often comes from wanting control or feeling insecure, not true concern.
Next, let's see how this guy treats your parents. Will he be respectful with your parents?
He is not the type to quietly pretend or just act polite on the surface. His feelings show openly, whether good or bad. If he genuinely likes and respects your parents, he will treat them with real warmth, kindness, and a helping hand when needed. He is not great at hiding his mood, so family gatherings can feel lively but unpredictable. He is more likely to expect your family to adjust to him rather than the other way around.
What if your family creates stress or interferes a bit in your lives?
If your family creates stress or interferes, he's likely to react quickly and emotionally, which can make things worse instead of better. He doesn't have a calm, patient approach in tense moments. His first instinct is to speak up, argue, or set boundaries in a blunt way that might offend others. You'll need to step in as the peacemaker and help guide both sides toward understanding.
Then let's analyze the role this guy's family will play in your life. Is this man modern with you, but a completely different person when other people, say his parents or bosses, are around?
Yes, he can be modern and relaxed with you in private, but expect you to play the traditional supportive wife role in front of his relatives. He might cheer for your independence when it's just the two of you, but in front of family, he's likely to want you to follow customs, show extra respect, and fit into their expectations, even if he doesn't say it outright. This kind of double standard can cause frustration or make you feel like you have to put on an act.
If there is tension between you and his parents, will he support you?
If there's tension between you and his family, he's likely to support you openly instead of staying quiet or taking their side. He's not someone who stands in the background. If he believes you're right or being treated unfairly, he'll jump in, even if it means getting into an argument with his relatives. You won't be left alone to handle tough situations, but you might wish he'd use a softer approach.
Say you have a conflict with his mother, what will this guy do?
He is not a classic mummy's boy. He has a strong independent streak and doesn't just follow his mother's wishes without question. In a conflict between you and his mother, he's much more likely to take your side, sometimes even loudly or in a way that starts a bigger argument. Overall, you can expect him to stand up for you rather than blindly support his mother.
Will he share all the private details of your relationship with his mother or sister?
Yes, he is likely to share details of your fights or private life with his mother or sister, especially if he's upset or looking for support. He might talk about your arguments, personal matters, or even your weaknesses without thinking about how it affects your trust or privacy. It means you may struggle to keep boundaries and feel truly safe sharing things with him.
Now let's zoom out and put it all together.
So that's the story. This guy scores a C. In many important ways, this guy is falling short of the standard we would want. Being in a relationship with this man is like riding a fast moving train, full of energy, strong opinions, and constant movement, but not always steady or gentle. He shows care through action and will step up when you need him, but his quick temper and sharp words can make home life tense at times.